All right, testing, 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 testing. 1, 2. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Okay, hope everybody is good. Okay, let's just check who's online right now. Okay, hold on a sec. I should put this. Okay, let me just check. Now I can check who's online. So I want to know how many of you are sharing devices. Okay, I can also check who's active right now. Nobody's active. Okay, I hope my voice is loud and clear for you guys. If my voice is not clear, please let me know. Okay, I see one person online. Okay, Putri Rafifa, you're sharing. Okay, hi. Are you guys in the Mahala or in the classroom or where are you guys? Okay. What's wrong with the window? Mahala. Oh, okay. It's good. No problem. Just want you guys to be comfortable. That's all. All right. So I'm gonna like put this over here so it's more practical. I'll probably like expand this window so everybody can see it. That's just nice, right? Okay, who else is on? All right. So far we have Sarah, Faiza, Aini, Amir is in the Mahala. All right. Nice to see you. So far, 6 active users. How's everything in UAE right now? Is it okay? Maybe I should put the chat. Oh, here's mine. Okay. We have Lisa. Who else? So I'm gonna wait for a while to see who's not here yet. 7 are active right now. Anyway, let me check if my external camera is working, because the focus on this one is a bit wonky lately. So however light in hands, I'm afraid it might not be that clear. All right. So let's just do a check here with my other camera. Let's just deactivate that. Yeah, it works just nice. So I can actually put a piece of paper here, but it's not that clear, right? Let's test this. It's not. Is it clear for you guys? You want to read that? I'm not so sure, because the focus of this guy is very weird lately. But yeah, I can use this as well to teach. So, all right. So everyone's in the Mahala. Is it raining right now in Gambang? Not raining. Wow. Okay. It looks like it's gonna rain here near my house. No. Okay. Freezing. Oh my god. You mean the air conditioner? Okay. Anyway, I kind of got like a mini announcement here. Actually, I was going through the book, and the person who edited the book said there are quite a few errors to correct. So let's all turn Just kidding, what? You mean it's hot, is it? All right. So, guys, please turn to page, let me see, what page would it be? Turn to page 79 and page 80, right? 79 and page 80, right? There are a couple of errors on that page. So I hope you have the textbook right now in your hands, yeah? So on page 79, if you read the bottom part, it says there that table 6.7 provide APA referencing examples based on different formats. But the table below is not table 6.7, it's table 6.10. So first of all, yeah, change the table numbers because the table numbers in this book can be a little bit, all over the place. That's the first correction. But the other correction is way less noticeable. Go to page 80, okay, 80, 80. Now, do take note that we're currently using the 7th edition of APA, not the 6th edition. So this book was made when the 6th edition was out. The 7th edition came out like towards the end of last year, right? So if you look at the bottom two columns, right? The bottom two rows, sorry. The part where it says journal article with 6 or more authors and a journal article with 8 or more authors. Now, according to the current version of APA, that is no longer the way you do it, okay? So I'm going to use a couple of your names here as examples, all right? So look at the part, the column that says in-text citation. So we all know that if there are more than 3 people, you only mention one name and et al. That is for citation. That it doesn't change. That remains. However, for the reference part, the part on the right column, where you list out everything in the title of the article and so on and so forth, the new format works like this. So let's say, for example, let's say lah contoh lah, for example, Hakimi and Maisara and Aidil and Liana and Amir Asfa wrote a book together, wrote an article together. Let's say 6 or 7 of you wrote a book together, right? So if let's say more than 3 people wrote a book together, this is how you do it. So I'm gonna just take some names here at random, okay? Right. And where is the name is now? I'm reading the chat list here. Okay. Let's take another name. Wait. Let me type this in chat for a while. Research studies. Okay. So over here, I just type a sample, right? So now what happens is if you have 3 or more authors for a research article, just put the first 3 names even in the list, and then the rest get an et al. So you're probably wondering, wow, so if it's more than 3, no more credit? Yeah, that's the system because they're trying to discourage too many people to write together. Because imagine if, let's say, 10 people wrote an article and the article is only 12 pages. Who's actually doing the work? Are there any free writers? That actually happens in the academic world. So to discourage it now, even in APA format, they're like cutting down the number of authors in the reference list, right? Because yeah, frankly, if you have 10 people, I bet only 1 or 2 are actually doing the work, right? So this is one of the latest updates, and this is the part that's not in the book because the book was made when the 6th edition was out. And then another error is, I believe, on page, where were you? It's page. Hold on, chapter. Another error is on page, I think 90, page 98, all right? Now, page 98 at the very top, the word chapter 8 is missing. So this is what's informed to me by the person who edited the book. There are some errors in this book, all right? All right, so I hope everybody is okay and comfortable. You can feel free to drink or wear whatever you want. Hey, I don't see anybody active in chat. So yeah, one thing about using what you call this, the ability to stream is you can check who's active and who's not active. So be very careful. Like right now, I only see in my list here nobody. Okay, suddenly one name appeared. So I can really catch who's active and who's not active here. How am I? Alhamdulillah, good, but I need to give myself and my leg especially a rest because I've been driving long distance, between KL and between Pahang very regularly, and it's taking a toll on my leg actually. So yeah, my right leg especially kind of hurts a lot. All right, focus mendengar. Yeah, but that's the thing. The way the software works, it detects if you're also active on the chat bar. It's kind of cool, which means you have to really, really pay attention on the whole thing. Okay, so today I'll be teaching and also showing some past year examples, and then at the end of the class, I'll probably help you guys with your assignment. Yeah. Okay, so chapter 4 is pretty much an exercise chapter. Just finding the main sentences and finding the what you call this supporting sentences. That's something that's best done in an actual class. Okay, yeah, it's good. It's good. No problem. All right. And then chapter 5, I divided you guys, right? So we'll do that when the break is over because chapter 5 needs to be done together in class as well, all right? So I'm going to start chapter 7 actually. Now, in case you're wondering, Alamak, chapter 7, why sir so fast? Don't worry, chapter 7 is one of the slower chapters because there's a lot to cover. And if you guys watched the video this morning or last night, I spent 2 hours just talking about a subchapter. All right. Okay. Thank you, Safwa. So it can be a very long chapter, but I guarantee you it's a fun one. It can be a bit confusing because there are a lot of concepts, but yeah. Oh yeah, and in case you didn't know, guys, when you do the whole message retracted thing on YouTube chat, it's not deleted because when you replay the video, everyone can still see what the original message was, and then you can see it being deleted halfway. So message retracted is not the same as deleting a message. It's not like WhatsApp where whoever's lucky to read it will read it. It can be read entirely. So yeah. Okay, I'm okay. Alhamdulillah, just need to rest my leg and everything. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start chapter 7 today, and I'm not going to cover I'm not going to cover 7.1 and 7.2 because 7.1 and 7.2 is just a repetition of what is in chapter 1. All right. Now, 7.3, if you notice the word relax, don't worry, I won't eat anyone or anything. Yeah. So, 7.3 is actually, you know, from thinking skills. Do we have a break? Yeah, I might give you guys a short break, but not too long because, you're probably in your mahala and praying is very easy, right? Okay, anyway. So 7.3 is from thinking skills. So I think your lecturer in thinking skills covered inductive and deductive way more compared to writing skills. Writing skills we do cover inductive and deductive, but just a little bit, not as deep as thinking skills. All right. So we're going to do 7.4 straight away. All right. And 7.4 is an important chapter. It's often tested in the test. So we're going to talk about two important and related concepts called validity and reliability. You can see me typing live there, right? On the screen there. All right. Now, before I go on and elaborate about what is validity and reliability, so what do you guys think that validity means. What does validity mean to you? What does reliability mean to you? What do you think is the meaning of it? Let's have a couple of tries. By the way, yes, I am streaming from my room. I'm from the comfort of my room as well. So yeah, just feel free to enjoy yourselves. So yeah, what is validity and what is reliability, guys? Okay, sure, I said reliability means something that you can depend on. What do you mean by that? That is very vague. Let's say, for example, right, you say that you can depend on your friend, for example. Your friend is a reliable friend. What about someone makes them reliable? Okay, Liana and Naili, you actually do have, I would say, half the answer is correct for validity. But what makes it trustable? What makes it dependable? Because right now the answers given, it's like, for example, if I ask what is IIUM and you answer is university. That's the kind of answers that are given right now. Give me a more precise answer. So what do you have? You cannot hear me? Okay, test. Okay, let me speak closer to the microphone actually. Okay, can you hear me right now? Am I clear? Something's wrong with the audio? Test, test. Okay, can you hear me right now? Cannot hear? Berdengung. Audio's not clear. Okay, hold on a sec. That's interesting. Not really clear. Kenapa? Okay, let me double check my audio settings. Uh, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me set things up. Okay, is my voice clear now? Is my voice clear? Just checking my voice right now. Can my voice be heard? Not really. Hmm? Not okay. Let me change the setting here a bit more. Maybe we should increase the. Okay. Test, 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 test. Is my voice clear right now? Is it clearer or? Okay, this is interesting because let me see. Validity means if it is in the current. You have you have the message of the answer. No, Alpha. Are you using it on your phone or laptop or? It's better. Okay, let me see if I off this setting. Will it like make it clearer or not? If I remove this, okay, is my voice better right now? Okay, is this better? Is my voice clear now? I want to make sure that everybody can hear. This is yeah. Okay, I assume this is better then. So I changed the settings on my microphone just so it's slightly clearer. Now again, yeah, technology can adjust everything. Better, a bit. Okay. Okay. I think it's also because the fan of my computer is kind of loud right now. I've had computer on for quite a while. All right. Okay. So let's resume. Yeah. So validity and reliability are two different things. They are related, but they are not the same, all right? Now, we're all Muslims here, so I'm going to use an example that really explains validity the easy way for us Muslims to understand, all right? Now, I believe all of us know Salat. In fact, you were talking about Asar break earlier, right? Now, in order for validity to be easily understood, now validity normally goes together with what you call this definitions. It goes together with signs and symptoms and criteria, measurements. What else? What else? So what to remember the subject sheet, measurements, etc. All right. To illustrate this, okay, let's say for example, all right, we talk about salat. All right. Now the definition of salat is it's a series of actions that begins with takbiratul ihram and it ends with salam. Right. And of course, we have the 13 rukun for salat, which we all know. All right. So your salat is valid if you meet the definition. For example, the definition says you have to start with salam, and you have to start with takbir and end with salam. If let's say after your tahiyat akhir, you just stand up and go away without performing your salam, assalamualaikum, without doing that, your salat is not valid. Alright? So the first type of validity is when you don't fit the criteria, or you don't fit the definition. Or for example, let's say I see somebody wearing a white tudung on Wednesday. Can I just automatically say, oh, that's a UIA student? No, it's not valid because first of all, white tudung is not the criteria for a UIA student. It's a criteria for you to wear on campus, but I don't think everybody off campus wearing white tudung on Wednesday is a UIA student, right? It can be a coincidence. All right. So far, do you get me here? Because now I want to talk about validity in the research setting. So, okay, I believe most of you guys have. Okay, hold on. Let me close the window. It's raining very heavily here. Just hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. So where was I? Okay. So all of you. Okay. By the way, I'm not paid by anyone to say this. I believe all of you are aware of he and she coffee, right? You probably have eaten there. You probably have drank there before, or maybe you have not eaten there before. All right. And some of you are going to say, hey, he and she is affordable. Some are going to say that he and she is expensive. Am I right? So, validity is unique in a sense that it also depends on what basis are you defining it and how the situation is like. So for some people, it is valid to say that he and she is expensive if you are comparing he and she to the other cafes in IUM, all right? So if you're going to compare he and she to maybe Mahalahu Mama, or you're going to compare it to the student center, of course, it is pricier than practically almost all the cafes, all right? Because the croissant is 6 ringgit, you can probably get a roti gardenia that lasts for a few days, you know, for only like 2 ringgit 30 cents in the kiosk. So in that case, it's valid to say that it's expensive. But if you were to compare based on the quality, because if you look at the drinks, they actually use a proper machine, and then they have proper ingredients, and then it's a very, very clean cafe. If you were to compare it to other cafes in the same class, in the same type, you will then discover that he and she is actually cheap. So if you notice, saying something is cheap or expensive can be situational, and this is how validity also works. Sometimes it depends on the situation, all right? So for one person, it might be valid to say it's cheap, but depending on what we're talking about, it's also valid to say it's expensive, all right? And by the way, which drink is the best in he and she? I know some people said last night that the caramel latte was really good. A lot of people are talking about the croissants there, especially the salted egg croissant or the, what you call this, the hazelnut croissant. What do you mean no there? Oh, boba. Ooh, I've never been a fan of boba, so it's going to be hard for me to relate there actually. All right, and you know they also have Belgian chocolate. That's quite. I know it's okay over there, but the matcha is really good, right? How many of you have tried the matcha in he and she coffee? So why do I mention this? Because okay, matcha is basically from the green tree pula, green tea extract, right? So what if let's say I make an assumption, okay, just an assumption that matcha makes CFS IIUM students uh, fresher, more alert, and more active. Or not a fan? Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's make an assumption. This is not a fact here, okay? This is a debatable thesis statement, a very debatable one, okay? I hope you remember what a thesis statement is, by the way. So matcha makes CFS IIUM students fresher, more alert, and more active. So let's say as a researcher, you want to test, betul tak? Does it really, really make you fresh and more alert? So you got 10 customers of he and she, and then you do a survey on them, and you do an experiment to see betul tak it may have an effect. So if it is true that it has an effect on UIA students, therefore this is valid. All right. Can you hear my voice? Because the rain is quite heavy. I think I have to close the, what you call this, make it slightly soundproof for a while. All right. Sorry about that. Heavy rain, heavy rain. Can you hear me? That's great. Okay. So it is valid if, let's say, you know, for example, all right, you chose 10 students, 10 participants, and then you gave them 3 cups of matcha every day for 1 month. And every student, you give them 3 cups, maybe like 200 milliliters, 3 cups, 600 milliliters a day, right? So maybe you test them like that, and then you check, hey, they become fresh and alert and active. Then that is valid for CFS IIUM students. But let's say, for example, you want to see whether it makes them fresh, but then you went ahead and asked them, hey, do you like ice cream? And they say, oh yeah, we like ice cream. And then suddenly you concluded, oh, they like ice cream, therefore matcha makes them fresh. There's no connection at all, right? So if there's no connection between what you do and what you're actually trying to prove, it's not valid. All right. So far, can you guys understand how that works? Because I'm going to add a couple more concepts here. Now, under validity and under reliability, there are several subcategories. And to make it a little bit confusing, you have internal validity, external validity, you have ecological validity, and you have time validity. All right. Now, how is it confusing? Because under reliability, you also have internal reliability, external reliability, ecological reliability, and time reliability. So if you notice, you have the same thing for both. So it is very easy to confuse, first of all, within validity itself. Sometimes it's easy to confuse internal and external, and then it's easy to confuse between internal validity and internal reliability. So I'm going to go very slow so that everybody understands this, okay? At this point, do you guys have any questions? Because I want to go one by one over here to make sure that everybody understands everything. Okay, I think the rain is pretty loud in the background. Let me like put a noise gate on my. No questions so far? All right, so let's try this, all right? So let's talk about reliability. Now, reliability has to do with consistency. Now, why do you say you can depend on a friend who's reliable? Because every time that friend is consistent, he never, he's consistent in to say that, let's say, if you look at how he helps you or how she helps you. Every time you need help, he or she will help you. Or every time you require something, he or she will not fight with you. It's about reliability. It's about consistency, basically, all right? So within a research setting, okay, let's have a situation. Let me just put this down. Let's say the situation. I believe all of you have had a cup of Milo at least once in your life. When we're in Malaysia, Milo, everybody has that, right? Reliability ada dalam buku. It is supposed to be in the book. I just hope they don't remove it. But I believe it is in the book. I believe I'm talking about page 87 here. Yeah, it's on page 87. But here's the thing, when you look at the types of reliability and the types of validity, there is one that is missing. Now there is reliability. Sure, look at page 87 at the very bottom, the last paragraph of page 87. If you look at the very last paragraph of page 87, you actually see reliability there, all right? And there are two errors here as well, okay? Number one, when you look at the types of validity, somehow the fourth type, time validity, has been deleted from the book. Okay, that's the thunder from outside, right? Is it raining in CFS? I don't know. Okay, very validity, right? So the fourth type of validity was removed or deleted by accident from the book. So I'm going to talk about it in this class as well, all right? The fourth type of validity. That's number one. Number two, the part that was removed from the book, I think by accident, is everything for reliability. So you have the definition of reliability, but you do not have the types of reliability going on, all right? Probably, in the editing process, might have got confused and removed it by accident. That's probable because this was done in a rush, by the way, yeah? But then I make the syllabus, so I can tell you what actually is supposed to be there, all right? Okay, so yeah, there are errors in the book for the remaining chapters. I will tell you what they are as we go through the syllabus, yeah? So anyway, back to Milo, right? So I believe all of you have had Milo at least once in your life. Unless you're allergic to Milo, then I don't know about that, all right? So the tagline of Milo is that Milo menjadikan Anda sehat dan kuat, all right? So let's come up with an assumption, a hypothesis. So Milo makes CFS IIUM students sehat is healthier and stronger, all right? So let's say you want to test, is it true that Milo makes you healthier and stronger? So you chose 10 UIA students and you make them drink 3 glasses of Milo every day for 3 months. And then you found that in 3 months they indeed have become healthier and they're so strong they can jump over the fence and whatnot, all right? So there you have results which are valid. Now reliability is consistency. So let's say you have 10 participants, you must make sure that the 10 participants get the same amount of Milo. All right, for example, participant number 1 must get 3 glasses, the second one must get 3 glasses, the third one must get 3 glasses, and all of them get 3 glasses. You cannot make it like, for example, the first participant only gets 1 glass, the second participant gets 4 glasses, the third participant gets 5 glasses. You have to be consistent, because if you get a different amount, it's not fair and it's not reliable. Another example, all right? So let's use the quiz to be a determiner of how good you are at the subject, right? So everybody got the same set of questions, right? Because everybody got the same question and you got the same amount of time to study and even the same amount of time to do the paper, therefore I can say that the quiz we had the other day was reliable because you all tested the same way, the same time, all of you were taught, and then it's reliable. But let's say, for example, all right, Shura gets a different set, Safwa gets a different set of questions, Aini gets a different set of questions, Liana gets a different set of questions. All of you get different questions, and then of course all of you get different marks. Would the results be reliable? No, because you get completely different tests. Which is why if I want to do a makeup test, it's very hard because I cannot ask the same thing, but it has to be similar so that it maintains the reliability, which is very, very crazy, right? Now that is reliability. Now let's talk about internal validity, all right? So if I were to do this test in IIUM, all right, and I found that it is true for CFS IIUM students, thus my results are internally valid. That's how it works. So what is external then? So if you remember in chapter 1, the characteristics of good research is that research is generalizable. In other words, the research setting, the research results can also be applied to other settings, other situations, other universities, and other countries. So let's say you test this whole Milo thing in UITM, for example, and then you found out, even UITM students become healthier and stronger when they drink Milo. So therefore, now your results are externally valid. Okay, so far, have I lost you or are you with me or do I need to re-explain that? And by the way, where are the guys? Because I only see 4 active users right now. Very fishy. Okay, now there are 5 active users. Yeah, here's the thing. If you're on the phone and you're not like the screen is not active, and if you're not really holding the chat thing, it will detect you as not active, which is kind of crazy. So far, you're okay? All right. Now, let us talk about, okay, I'll talk about ecological validity. Then we will stop for maybe 5 minutes for Asar, ya. Ada jadi, all right. Just add check because the settings in YouTube is very sensitive. So the moment you're not actively scrolling or anything, it says you're not active, which is kind of cool. Suddenly everybody's active. Ooh, a lot of names pop up here. Just nice. Slow internet. Understandable because it's IEM, right? Aini, so is it valid if we compare? Okay, it is internally valid, of course, if the results are already valid. But is it valid if you compare? It depends. If you compare and you found that the results are valid, then it is externally valid. Comparing doesn't make it valid. You have to compare. But when you compare, there are cases where you find it's valid, and there might be cases where you find it's not valid. So let's say something is externally not valid. It does not mean that the research is wrong. It means that probably there are other things in other places that are making the students healthier and stronger. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's roti canai in UITM, and the roti canai is made of a certain type of tepung that makes you stronger and healthier. Who knows? And the effect of the roti canai is better than the Milo. We don't know, right? Okay. Now let's talk about ecological validity. So what on earth is ecological validity? This is about situations. So in my class, normally you guys are very hoo-ha, very crazy, and then ada yang, wait, this is 902, right? Kecham, are you from, I forgot your name, oh my god, I remember the Kecham part. Kecham is from 902 ke tak? The one that wanted to kecham me. Oh, 900, sorry, oh my god, have I corrected the description of the video? Holy crap. I've changed the description 900, right? Oh my god, 900, okay. The one that one, yeah, Fatin, okay, Fatin, right? So you can even kecham me and all that, right? Kecham, sorry, I mixed up the numbers. I have to, at least I got the kecham right, okay? At least I got the kecham right. Okay, good. So in my class, you berani kecham, right? But let's say it is IRK class or if it's statistics class. Would you kecham the lecturer? So, so you notice that different situations and different people can change the way you act. So sometimes before you want to say, dia ni orang yang macam ni, you have to look at the situation. All right, some people show different behaviors in different situations or in the presence of different people. And yes, maybe you guys are hoo-ha and crazy in my class, all right? But let's say while I am teaching, suddenly, suddenly, the dean of CFS wants to visit our class. Will you maintain the same behavior or not? If let's say suddenly the dean enters the class, will you do the same jokes? Will Siraj and Kimi make the same humor? Why not? I'm still there. No, why not? Oh, Waalaikumsalam Siraj. Terbatuk dia. The behavior changes, right? Okay, let's also take another situation. Let's say in the mahala, right? So in the mahala, the guys will probably wear kain pelikat or boxers and singlet or t-shirt. The girls might either wear, a baju kelawar, and you guys will act very crazy, jumping on the bed and, maybe turning on and off the lights like it's a disco, or screaming at the top of your lungs, or putting the audio on the speakers at maximum volume, right? You will do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's okay if you're shy to admit. I understand. I was a student as well, all right? But let's say suddenly the fellow enters the room. Will you continue on with your same behavior? Membawang, I don't know. I'm not a fan of onions, by the way. I mean, hey, I admit it. I was a student. I can be crazy. Hey, I was a student of URA myself, all right? I was an IIUM student. So I know how it's like to be in IIUM. And the fellow masuk terus tiba-tiba beriman habis ada Quran, pakai kopiah and all that. Tak faham lah ke buat-buat tak faham. Cis korang ni. It's okay. I understand. I graduated from UIA in 2012, so I understand how it's like in UIA. Yeah, some fellows are sporting lah, all right? It's true. We can't deny that, all right? So that's the thing, right? So why do I say this? Because sometimes when you do research, people might respond differently based on who is there or what the situation is, all right? Let's say, for example, all right, you want to do a study on how focused are URA students, all right? And you do your research late in the evening at 5 p.m. when everybody tengah layu and tengah basi and everything, right? And then you found that, oh, URA students yawn a lot. Therefore, URA students are, not focused in class. Is that fair? That is ecologically invalid. Why? Because come on, at that time, who is energetic unless you are, a nocturnal person, whatever. Dah gaduh tu. Or for example, let's say I want to do a survey. Are you happy with the fellows in IUM? And then the one collecting the information and interviewing you is the fellow himself or the fellow herself. Will you answer honestly? Probably not, right? Because of course you're scared to say the fellow is bad unless you're anonymous, right? But let's say the one collecting the data is a researcher from outside UIA, or the one collecting the data is a student. You will be super duper honest, right? Terus membawang kata, fellow tak best, asyik spot check je, asyik saman je kan. So you see, the situation changes how you respond. So in research, you want to make sure that you have none of these kind of situations that completely change the answer of your respondents. That is ecological validity. Yes, strangers, all right? And of course, let's say for example, right, you want to see how people react, people's behavior. If you tell them that you're observing them, they will be on their best behavior. Let's say you want to do a study on how UIA students are like in the masjid. And then you go to the masjid, you say, hey, I'm trying to observe your behavior. Terus dia cuak, kan? But let's say you stop them from a corner and they don't know that you're doing research. They will be natural. So this is what ecological validity is all about. Oh, it stopped raining, by the way. Okay, the time is 4:55 on my timer. Seramnya stop. Tapi korang stop kan? Alright, so the time now is 4:55. I'll go for a 5-minute asar break. We are all in our rooms, right? So praying should be fast and you shouldn't need much time to do wudu and everything, right? So 5 minutes starting now. Yes, it depends on the situation, all right? I will off my microphone right now because we have our break. Yeah? All right, testing. I am back. Hope everyone is. Where's everyone? Okay, so hope everybody had a great Asar break. And I pray that our prayers are all accepted by Him, inshallah. Hmm, tidur dulu? Seriously? All right. So let's see. What? You retracted the message? Hey, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so where were we just now in the whole grand scheme of things? Okay, so I think I stopped at ecological validity, right? So remember, ecological validity is all about how the situation affects the validity of something. Okay, since we performed SOLAT just now, I think it's a great time to talk about time validity, right? So what is time validity? Okay, so time validity, certain things are only valid at certain times, right? So right now, if we were to perform Salat Asar, it is definitely valid because this is Waktu Asar. But if let's say the time now is around 5, right? And suddenly I prayed 2 raka'ats and had a doa kunut. In other words, I do subuh right now. Is it valid? As a salat, it is valid because it starts with a takbir and ends with salam. But time wise, this is not the time for subuh, this is time for asar. So time validity is actually quite easy to understand because Muslims have a lot of ibadah that is bound by time. All right, so that's one very easy example to understand, right? Prayers, different prayers are only valid at different times. So right now is a valid time for what you call this. This is a valid time for asar prayers. Sebab tak ada kerja lagu tu sembahyang semua. Kan, tak ada kerja. Oh wow, that's very what accent? Oh, is this Kelantanese? I'm reading here. Because lagu tu kan, you don't find that in other states. All right. And how about this? Let's say I say, okay, tomorrow nak puasa Ramadan. Is it Ramadan tomorrow? No, right? So puasa wajib is, definitely invalid tomorrow unless it's puasa ganti lah. All right. So it's very easy to understand time validity. Okay, because certain things are only valid at certain time. So your my puasa tomorrow tak sah lah, because tomorrow is not hari wajib puasa. All right. Another concept. All right. Let's say, for example, you want to see whether or not URA students love nasi lemak. All right. So you prepared the nasi lemak at 6 a.m. and then you gave the students to taste it at 7 a.m. So it is internally valid and it's also valid. Why? It's also valid in terms of time, because if you prepare at 6 a.m. and you give the students at 7 a.m., the nasi lemak is still fresh, right? But let's say you prepared the nasi lemak, after subuh, and then only now at 5 p.m. I ask you guys to try it, and then I ask you, so how's the nasi lemak? Sir, tak sedap, dah basi. Can I conclude that nasi lemak is not liked by UIA students? No, because certain things only last for a certain amount of time. If you're dealing with food, for example, food doesn't last forever. I cannot cook today and then expect you to like it next week, because next week definitely is already rotten, right? Unless I made sambal or unless I made keropok, which things that can last a bit longer. All right? Mana boleh lagu tu. So there you go. That's a very easy way to understand the concept of time validity. Exactly, right? But there are some researchers who actually do that. So that's why I think I have to mention this. And that's why the concept of time validity exists. Okay, let's talk about reliability. So reliability, there are also four types: internal, external, ecological, and time. So it's similar. Internal is within your situation. Make sure that all the people involved get the same treatment or the same survey or the same experiment. External, so let's say you want to do the experiment in a different location, for example, in UITM or UKM or USM. You also want to replicate, research being replicable, right? You also want to replicate the exact same questions, all right? Because let's say, for example, you want to know whether or not URA students love Milo, you gave them Milo. In UITM, you bagi oligoco, what do you call that thing? It's not fair, because oligoco is a different drink. Vico is a different drink, all right? So you want to be consistent even outside, all right? Ecological reliability, so when you test it outside, you also have to give you also have to give a similar situation, and you also have to give a different. You also have to give a similar time. Oligo, all right. Another example for ecological, which I just thought just now because my wife reminded me earlier, is that solat, right? So when you solat alone, how fast do you solat? Some people will just finish asar in 5 minutes, some in 1 minute, some in 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. But let's say when you're performing solat, suddenly your parents are in the same room. Is your khusyuk going to increase or decrease? If let's say you're performing solat and then your parents are there, tiba-tiba pam, rakaat satu surah Baqarah terus. Right? You'll be like, so pressured to pray properly in front of others. Your khusyuk decreases? Ooh, interesting. So you see, different people are affected by situations differently. So this is the ecological factor, all right? Now, before I ask you whether you understand or not, I think it's only fair if I actually show you how the questions look like. That way you can actually determine. Oh yeah, your parents are noisy if you are praying. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so let me just find the file right now. Menggelupo lah cik lagu tu. Oh, what? That's very thick Kelantanese there. Abah pegang rotan terus khusyuk. Oh my God. Are you praying because of the rotan or because of Allah? Okay, let's see. Sometimes parents make a joke. Ooh. But you notice this chapter onwards, it's very different from the rest of the whole syllabus. Okay, where are we just now? Food deep. Yeah, I want to show some questions for you guys so it's very easy to understand the whole thing. So, Surah of Allah. And are you saying it's a joke because of the ecological validity here? Look, now you can start joking about validity. The moment you can joke about something, it means that you understand it. Because jokes, the very concept of jokes is that, if you don't understand what it truly is, you cannot joke about it. So I guess I can feel happy here. Okay, I think this is a very good question to share with you guys. Okay, let me just. By the way, I think just now, was it Siraj? You're saying my OBS scene looks nice. Oh, do you stream as well, Siraj? Because not many people know OBS unless you're a streamer or you're a gamer or whatever it is. Okay, so now you see I'm sharing a paper here. Okay, I shouldn't be covering my face, right? Okay, there we go. Sorry. They should put this one underneath. Yeah. All right. So let's look at the question there, right? So let's try and answer this. Oh, Tausik said, did your ICT lecturer cover it? Because OBS is a very powerful software that I think everybody should learn to use. It's really useful. Like I'm doing this class through OBS. I do my gaming streams using OBS. It's really great and powerful. Do use it, guys. Do use it. Okay, so look at the first question there, yeah? So Professor Norcia gave an exam on Monday. On Wednesday, she gave the same class the same exam. So Professor Norcia was assessing A. Reliability, B. Validity, C. Ecological validity, or D. Internal validity. Okay, let's see. Okay, Fatin says it's A. Shura says it's A. What else, guys? Safwa says A. How about the guys? Ira Azhar says A. Shalalang. What? Okay. So very good. So the answer is not A perhaps. Well, the answer is A. So congratulations everybody. You guys understood validity very well. I mean reliability very well, alright? Because you want to see huh? Saya jadi lalang so what? Aberu. What's Aberu's real name by the way? Quite curious now. Tak tahulah hihi what. Okay, let me show another sample. I think set B is good as well. Ah, let's look at question 1 over there, right? So when you are worried about whether you will get the same results if you repeat your experiment again in the future, you are worried about what? Are you worried about the internal validity? Are you worried about the external validity? Are you worried about reliability? Or are you worried about the ecological validity? Which one are you worried about? Let's try this question here. And of course, these are not this semester's question. Yeah, read the question carefully. Read the question very carefully. Okay, some says A, some says C, some says D. Which one is it? Try. It's nice to have a variety of answers here. one A there. There's an A. Abe Russo is A. Ah, Munira. Okay. So I'm going by your name over there. I think that's also your name on IG. I think because I swear I saw that name before. So yeah, normally if I have seen the name at least once, I start remembering the name and the pronunciation and everything. So be careful. If your online name is very funny, I'll probably remember that online name rather than your real name. Because I had one student last time, it's a she by the way, her username was Monyet. So I remember Monyet only until today. Of course, I do remember her real name, but for quite a while, we all call her Monyet. Okay, so the answer for number one over here is actually C, reliability. Because you're worried about the consistency of things, whether or not you'll get the same results. The person in this question is not worried about the correctness, but is worried about getting the same thing. So when it's about the same thing, the answer is C. So congratulations to Liana and Fatin for getting the right answer. So yeah, the questions can be very tricky, but the next question I swear is incredibly tricky. Okay, look at question number 2. All right. So So here's the thing. Sometimes the questions can combine things in a very, very tricky way. So a weighing scale that consistently tells Susie that she is 115 pounds, 5 pounds lighter than she really is, every time she stands on the scale is blank, but not blank. Yes, Aini. The thing about reliability and validity is it requires you to be very, very, very careful. Okay? It is very easy to lose marks if you're not careful. I'm giving a very big tip there. Try this one. Wow, everybody's answering D so far. Are there any different answers? Now, the tricky part about this question is here. You know, see, it is blank, and then over here there's also a not. So you have to be very careful with the answer. So the actual answer is actually D. So the answer is actually D. So it is reliable because it's consistent. It gives the same thing. But even though it's the same thing all the time, it is reliably wrong. You can be reliable and wrong. All right? Typo, tiba-tiba typo. So the answer is D. All right? Daun, daun. All right. So I want to illustrate this with pen and paper just to show how the concept works because I know this can be a little bit hard to imagine. So hold on, let me just get my papers here and I'll activate my the IG, huh? What? All right, let me activate my hand camera because sometimes when I do gaming streams, right, I like to focus one camera on the face and one camera on my hands just so people know I'm human. All right, so let's say, all right, let's activate that. Oh, by the way, all my figurines there say hi to you guys. Yeah, I have a lot. Hey, why did you fall down? No way, don't fall down, please. No, 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 Mario, don't fall down. Okay, never mind, just go there. I have a lot of these guys. All right. Yeah, Mario for life for me. You know why this guy is looking somewhere else? You should look here. All right. Baru kuat suara. Yeah, I think it's because it was raining just now or something. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna illustrate something webcam. Yeah, I'm using this. This is my external webcam. Oh, that's a very cool effect. Look at that. Okay, I'm just annoying you guys, but that's my webcam over there. All right, and yeah, I use a dual monitor setup. So I have one monitor for seeing things and one monitor with the software setup. Yeah, this is a hobby thing, all right? Okay, so let's look at the paper. I believe all of you have played darts before, right? Yeah, technology is very useful. It's very, very useful. That's why I can comfortably teach from my room, and you guys can also be in your mahala and be very relaxed. I think technology is something that is not actually fully utilized in Malaysia. Like we like to say, oh, online procedure, online that, but we are not. We're just barely tapping the service. The what do you call this? We are just barely touching the potential of technology in Malaysia. All right, there's so much good to technology, and we don't see technology being really utilized in the academic world. All right, so it's nice that that URA actually knows that I do this, and URA actually approves of this. Alhamdulillah, I actually presented about online classes using YouTube Live. I presented at UCYP last year, and Alhamdulillah, on behalf of URA, I actually managed to get the Best Research and Best Presenter award for that, Alhamdulillah. So yeah, I mean, in the academic world, I am actually known for this, and I actually am writing a research paper on this. I'm not done yet. Research papers take a while to write, actually. But yeah, so learning this technology, it does take time, but it's very powerful. Imagine if you can, this is like really, really good because I can even see who's active, who's not active. And now that we have, COVID-19 being declared as a pandemic, if in case the university has to shut down for a while, I don't have to worry about teaching classes because I can do it online, right? And the other day, I actually gave a workshop to my setup. Yeah, it's a very simple setup. I just have a very powerful laptop over here, a monitor over here, and then excuse me for this. I have and this is something that connects because I don't have it connected right now. This connects my laptop to my console. So I have a Nintendo Switch over there, and then I have my PlayStation and my other consoles down there, and then I will connect this. My mic, I have two microphones. Actually, I have three microphones. I have one mic on this, I have one mic on my laptop, and my other mic with the stand is not here right now. I was actually cleaning up the room. So my other mic, the big mic, is currently at the side right now. But mukbang, oh my god, I don't eat that much, guys. Okay, anyway, back to reliability. Let's have the chat later, okay? So I believe all you have played darts before, right? Oh, it's much clearer. Okay, if I put it far away, can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear my... Oh, test. Wait a minute, let me see my settings. Oh, oh, no wonder. I activated... I'm not using the internal. Oh my god. No wonder today's stream is different. So I'm actually using the microphone on my webcam. Oh my god, this is so funny. This is so funny. I only realized it today. Yeah, that's what happens when you have so many microphones going on, alright? Oh my god, this is funny. Okay, so I should speak into this, yeah. Yeah, that's why. When you have too much equipment, you can get confused. Wiring and stuff like that, it's not easy. It's super clear now, right? Okay, let me try some effects on my voice then. Is it clear now? Oh, pecah. If it pecah, then I'll put a compressor on that and set the output to 1.3 times. And then I probably will, let me see. Ha! Good, good. You actually talk about reliability there. Good understanding. Okay, is this clear as well? I'm trying to like cancel the noise. I did noise cancellation. Yeah, when you learn the software and you learn how to use all this equipment, it gets really interesting. You know, video production, I think, is something that all students should learn. Clear sangat. Ooh, okay. No, no, not clear. No, what? Very clear. Okay. So I have to check where my settings are coming from because why? Why? I thought my microphone was okay, whatever. Yeah, that's weird. I thought the settings from the internal microphone, but again, I guess technology can be very weird that way. Okay, so back to what we're talking about. All right, now I'll speak into this. Okay, so I believe all of you have played darts before. You know, them baling dart. Even if you've never played it, I think you know how it works. You always aim for the bullseye. All right. So in research, now imagine that the darts is research, right? All right. So every time you throw the darts, you want to make sure that you hit the bullseye all the time. So if every time you do your research, you always hit the bullseye, your research is definitely valid and definitely reliable. OBS should be learned by students. I think everybody should learn OBS, especially because OBS is free of charge and there's so many tutorials on how to use it. And because it's so powerful and useful, people can even make money just doing streams like this, right? So it's valid and reliable because every time you get the same answer, you're consistent. You consistently get this. Or for example, if you play bowling, right? So if you can get strike all the time, then yeah, you are a very reliable person. Sometimes, every time you throw, you get the same target. Choo, 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 choo. But is this where you should be aiming for in darts? Not really. So there are cases where you are reliable, you're very consistent, you hit the same spot all the time. But that's not valid, man. That is not valid at all because you're supposed to aim here, but you always get here. Or like when you play bowling, right? Selalu masuk longkang. Dush. You're supposed to aim for the pins, but you selalu kena longkang. Or let's say, for example, when you what you call this? When you what do you call that thing? What game is that? Not badminton, not swimming. Let's say if you play PUBG, if you play Fortnite, you want to aim for the enemy. Don't shoot the ground, don't shoot the sky. So every time you miss, you're not a reliable Fortnite or PUBG player, all right? Or not a CSGO player. All right. Easy analogy to understand. And then there are times when, okay, let me get this papers here properly. Okay, let's say a lot of us, you know, bam, 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 bam. Then sekali kena sini, dua kali kena sini, then bam, you miss. So you have some validity, all right? But you're not reliable. You are not consistent. And then worst case scenario, your target is here, but then boom, kena target lain. Boom, kena here, never here at all. So in this case, you're not valid and you're not reliable at all. All right. So this is an easy way to understand the concept of reliability and validity using darts as an example. You can also use PUBG as an example. You can also use bowling as an example, and so on and so forth. All right. Wow, I spent quite a lot of time on this particular subchapter, and I have to say, yeah, that this subchapter is one of the no, this whole chapter. You will notice that I am considerably. Oh, sorry, I am considerably slower in this chapter. Aini, yes, you've seen that illustration before because this is a very popular way of describing validity and reliability. I think some statistics lecturers actually use this. All right. So that's why it is a very important one. If you can understand this, alhamdulillah, right? Because this is the one out of all the sub chapters in chapter 7, this is one of the one of the ones that everybody tends to get confused about. I mean, if you look at the question, even the question is annoying on purpose. All right. Now, I did not make these questions I showed you. These were made by other lecturers. I think this is the 2015 or 2016 paper, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Ah, yes. Ashraf has shown that before, because that is simply the most popular way to talk about consistency. I believe he must have shown that, I think, regarding critical thinking standards, about being precise, about being. I'm glad you. Yes, you see, thinking skills and writing skills are interrelated. If you look at the textbook, the sub-chapter before this one is deductive and inductive, which also comes from thinking skills. Yes, precise and accurate. There you go. You know, the eight standards, you have precision, you have accuracy. So there's a considerable overlap between thinking skills and writing skills in this chapter. So if you did very, 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 very well for thinking skills, this particular chapter will become significantly easier. And later on in the next chapter, when we talk about sampling, sampling is directly tied with statistics. So if you're good at statistics, then the next chapter will be significantly easier, especially when I start showing the graphs and the standard deviation and the mean and the mid and all that. It becomes considerably easier, all right? So at this point, any questions regarding reliability and validity? Any questions? I want to make sure that everybody can understand this. Yeah, I actually agree with Ashraf on this. Ashraf's my junior, by the way, by a couple of years. Huh? What is this? Thank you very much, Nazrik. What is this? Oh, I posted something on the lecturers group and they actually thanked me for it. Okay, no problem. Okay, where was I? Yeah, it is stupidly easy. You have to understand one thing about research in general, yeah? A lot of people somehow feel very pressured to sound bombastic, but actually what they are talking about is easy. It's either peanuts easy or stupidly easy or whatever kind of easy. It's actually simple. Just that applying the knowledge might be a little bit, I would say, challenging for some people, but it's actually really easy stuff, all right? Well, no questions at all. So when this comes out in the test, I hope you can answer it. Because reliability and validity comes out almost every semester. All right, so I'm glad you guys understand this, because I've had cases where some students really, really, really struggle with this chapter. So when we return from the break, I will test you guys just to see, do you truly understand or not, inshallah. Okay, before we end, I want to also discuss our assignment, yeah? Because I've already gotten, like, I think from section 900, one person wanted to see me yesterday, and a few people even messaged me. But it's great that you guys message. It shows that you guys are serious about scoring, okay? So let's talk about your article review assignment, which I want to make sure you guys can score. Try to get at least 6 marks for this. It is definitely, definitely, definitely possible, all right? So pair work, and of course, don't forget, later on you have to print the assignment. You also have to print this sheet of paper here, yeah? Sheet, 2 harakat, not 1 harakat. 1 harakat is a swear word. 2 harakat, you have a sheet of paper. I repeat, sheet. Emphasize the pronunciation there, okay? All right, so make sure you print this page, because this is where I'm going to mark you guys. I'm very transparent in how I mark you guys. I will tell you where you lost your marks. Sheer. What was sheer? Ed Sheeran? Okay, Now, a lot of people are confused. What do you want in this assignment, sir? So remember that I asked you guys to actually present about chapter 5? Because chapter 5 and chapter 4 are directly related to this assignment, all right? So you look there, okay? First of all, you have to comment about the writing style of the author. So in chapter 5, we have things like cohesion, things like coherence, things like clarity, and so on and so forth. So I want you to say, is the writer being clear? Is his writing cohesive? Is his writing consistent? And so on and so forth, okay? So I want you to identify, is the author good in all the styles or not? And then if you say that the author is bad, what is your evidence that the author is not cohesive enough or not clear enough? So you have to have credible sources. By the way, it's a typo there. 2 credible sources, not credible source 2, but 2 credible sources. And this is going to be very ironic here, but you cannot quote the textbook. You cannot quote this textbook. Why? This textbook is not a credible source. Why isn't it considered a not credible source? Because you don't know who the author is. Yes, you know the person who edited it, which was your thinking skills lecturer last time, Brother Ashraf over there, but you don't know who wrote the book. And this book is full of errors as well. So this is not a reliable source. Plus, it's not a textbook. It's just a handbook. So a handbook is just meant as a reference, but not as a be-all, end-all. It's not a Bible for this subject, all right? So you're probably asking me, sir, what should I refer to then? So go to your course outline, and this is something that you need to do, especially for your degree, right? There's a reason you need a course outline. So when you look at the course outline, at the very end of the course outline would be your, oh, not this, where is it? This one, the recommended reading. These are the textbooks that you have to use or should use when doing your assignment. There are other books that I can recommend as well that are not mentioned here, by the way. For example, if you guys can either find the ebook or the book in the library, there's a book by John Cresswell. I'll type his name in chat. So John Cresswell is an amazing writer for writing skills and research. I think his book is called Qualitative Research. He mentions the writing part very, very nicely, refer to his book. And then there's this other author. His book is called Social Research Methods, and the author is Earl Babby. By the way, the pronunciation is Babby, all right? Ba, not ba, but ba. Pronounce it properly. Don't destroy people's names, please, all right? So these 2 authors, look for their books either in ebook online or from the UI library. These books will help you a lot, all right? And speaking on these books, okay, we had our library session, right? The librarians really want to help you, not the library assistants. There's a difference between the library assistant and the librarian. So the library assistant, kerja dia is susun and all that and arrange things. The librarian is the one in charge of the information, all right? So just ask for the librarian, maybe like Madam Sahariza, and then there are a few others in the library. They will be more than willing to actually help you with your search and with using the system. Make sure you actually, get their help. They are more than willing. They are very nice people. It is also in their KPI to actually assist staff and students. So if a staff and student help and then they actually help you, that helps their, their livelihood and their salary as well, all right? Yeah, they're being paid for that. So anyway, back to the article review rubrics. Okay. It's so easy, right? I don't even need to bother about projector. I can just open files and not even worry about loading time here at all. Because this computer at home is really fast. Then again, it's a gaming computer. Gaming computers are usually fast anyway. All right, so writing style. You want to have evidences that the style is good or bad, and then you have to write in a coherent manner. What is coherent? That's what I expect to hear from your presentation when the break is over. All right. And then I want you to also comment on the content of the article. This is why I want you to choose an article you can understand. All right. Maybe the person writes in a very bad way, but the contents are very interesting. Or maybe you can say that maybe the writer writes in a good way, but the content is just meh itu je. All right. So you have to write about two things: the content, and you have to write about the writing style. All right. So that's what I expect from your article review assignment. It's a very short assignment, by the way. If you check, the number of pages required is, look, must not exceed 3 pages. There's a maximum number of pages because I don't want to hear grandfather stories or grandmother stories from your assignment, right? This is not like SPM. SPM is, the more you write, the higher your chance to score. Forget about that. This is university. University, you can write a bit and still score a lot. Okay, how to start an article review? That's a very good question, Ideal. Introduce the article. You can say that, okay, the article that you are doing, that you're reviewing, is so on and so forth by this author, and then you summarize it. Say what the article is about. I think there's a section in the rubrics about summarizing. So you begin by, look at there. It's actually mentioned in the rubrics. First of all, provide the title and name of the author. Just introduce the article. Write about it concisely. What is concise? Refer to chapter 5. And then summarize the article. So if the article has a good abstract, just paraphrase the abstract and you get your marks very easily there. But remember, write in your own words. So do not copy and paste the abstract. I will kill you for that. You will lose marks there. Munira, no problem, no problem. You can check this video, or you can check this morning's video, or you can check last night's video. I did this, yeah, I repeated myself 3 times, and I noticed that in the 3 times I did this online class, I gave completely different examples and explanation for all 3. So feel free to watch all of them. And yes, one of the best things about online classes, first, you can ask me live like this, and then if you miss something, you can just rewind. And also, one very unique feature, when you are rewinding, even the chat will rewind. So you get to see exactly when the person said what in chat. So if you miss a discussion in the live chat section, you can replay the chat. And I think this is one of the craziest parts of technology. So if na'uzubillah, if CFS ever gets closed down, if na'uzubillah anybody gets infected, I can easily do my classes online and, hooray. And I know how to do it where we can have webcams from all of you guys as well if you want to do that. But that's, of course, in an emergency state, just in case that happens, all right? I pray that doesn't happen. But if it happens, let's pray for the best, yeah. So ideal, how to start? Look at the rubrics. Oh yeah, and if I have time tonight, I will share a sample review. I'll share it after this actually, but after this class, I have to pick up my wife from work first. So yeah, I will share a sample with you guys, sample article review from the previous semesters, and that will give you an idea of what to do for the assignment. Any other questions about the assignment? Oh yeah, by the way, quite a number of you guys actually messaged me, sir, which article is better? There is no such thing as better article or worse article, all right? If you understand the article, go ahead and review it. All articles are good, okay? Where to get the rubric sheet? I believe it's already on the group. Just check the documents in the WhatsApp group. Again, I know I don't use what you call that, iTaklim, because I think WhatsApp and streaming is already more powerful than that. But when you fill up the SFS later, just meant because they don't have an item for use technology, they put it as I taklim. All right, so just say that I use it even though I don't use it because I'm using other technologies. All right, because they haven't corrected the questions in SFS yet. Okay. Yes, I will send. Yes, only one article. Last time it was many articles. I actually simplified the syllabus because I understand that research is something that's very new, especially if you're fresh from SPM. And unlike other countries, in other countries they teach this in school. So when we talk about articles and APA, people from other countries are very familiar with APA style. Whereas for us, this is the first time in university, so it's like, what the heck is all this new stuff? I know it's a culture shock for a lot of people. So that's why, I tend to be more understanding of how students do things. Plus, I was a student myself, and I miss being a student. All right. Anything else, guys? And I hope the amount of time I gave for the assignment is enough. I like to make sure that you have enough time to rest, enough time to do the assignment, enough time to do other assignments as well. Because I know sometimes when people give assignments, they don't think of your current workload in the semester. I know this is your final semester, inshallah, and I know you have a lot of critical subjects like math too, like statistics. You're welcome, Shura. I was a student myself and I understood the stress. I did my degree in 3 years last time and I had to do like 9 subjects every semester. And it got very stressful when, the deadlines are all in the same week or, assignments are given last minute by the lecturers. It's very stressful. So I told myself I don't want to repeat the same mistakes that some of my lecturers may have done when, I was a student. All right. I have a philosophy in teaching when it comes to that. And of course, feel free to message me either on the group or personally if you need help. I am more than happy to assist anybody. And even let's say if I go live on YouTube or Twitch, even if I'm not doing the education stuff, let's say I'm doing a video game stream, but you want to ask me about education while enjoying my video game stuff, go ahead. I'm very open, as long as I'm up, want to ask something, please ask. I'll be more than happy to share. That's why I'm in this job and in this line of career. How many paragraphs? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Introduction, summary, there will be at least 1 or 2 paragraphs. Your comments will be 1 paragraph. We're looking at least 3 or 4 paragraphs, at least. Yeah, I'm a very approachable. I'm not claiming I'm approachable, but I like to be approachable. All right. So even if you want to ask questions on my social media, go ahead. Please do. Please do. Why did I do 3 years? Because I felt 4 years is slow, but that's just me. I do not like wasting time. All right. I believe in being as fast as possible. But of course, if you cannot do it fast, don't do it fast. All right. Some people need time. The longest amount of time spent for a degree was actually 8 years. I had a friend. I did my degree in 2008. And when I started teaching in 2012, my friend was still a student doing his degree. He finished in 2016, degree. So there you go, all right? Some people really need time to learn. So 8 years is like, you're doing 2 papers or 3 subjects a semester. Yes, you can do more than 3 paragraphs, up to you. Everybody has a different style. So yeah, the fastest in UIA was 2.5 years, my junior. So she had to do like, I think 11 or 12 subjects every semester. I did 9 subjects every semester. I know I'm crazy, but I was up for the challenge. And I was also active in in Koku stuff because I get bored very easily. I have to be always active. But of course, do what you can. If you rasa you mampu, if you think you can do it, go for it. If you feel that 3 years is hard, do 3.5, do 4. Do what you're comfortable with, all right? Don't let anybody force you to do a different amount of time. Okay, because my inspiration was my senior. My senior did her degree in 3 years. So I said, wow, you can do 3 years? Okay, I'll do 3 years too. And then one of my juniors was inspired by us, and she was like, okay, you can do 3 years, I'll do 2.5 years. And my friend that did 2.5 years, she got 3.9 every semester and is very successful. But if you can score and if you know your abilities, then go for it. It's not easy. Or there are people like my supervisor. My supervisor for my master's, he did his PhD in 14 months. Everybody else will take 4 or 5 years. He did his PhD in 14 months. Nanti masuk degree boleh require time for degree. What do you, I mean, yeah, here's the thing about degree. When you start your degree, you're on your own. You design your timetable, you choose your classes yourself and everything. You choose the order yourself, you choose the lecturers yourself. So choose wisely, and basically, the higher your CGPA, the more subjects you can take in a semester. All right? Oh man, it's okay. Inshallah, tomorrow you can go back. Inshallah. And I pray you guys have a safe journey, by the way, yeah. But yeah, degree, choose your time. And my other reason why I did 3 years is because that's the speed of UITM students. UITM degree is very fast. But then again, I am not forcing you guys to do 3 years like me. Everybody go at your own pace. If you need 5 years and you can make sure you score in 5 years, go for that, because CGPA is equally important. All right, go at a pace that you can do. All right, like my friend, he did 8 years. Okay, that is quite slow, but if you can score, you can do well, go for it. But 8 years, you'll feel old, right? You will feel very old. And I don't mind if students want to ask me, when you're in Gombak, you want to ask for tips or stuff. I don't mind answering that either. I'm still in touch with my ex-students sometimes, when they want to ask me, like, sir, what should I do? Or is this subject in degree difficult? But that's, of course, for Ben, because I'm a Ben lecturer. I know the Ben structure, of course. Economics, I'm not sure how the structure is like. But it's still flexible, all right? Okay, any other questions, guys? So let's see. Oh, we actually utilized 2 hours this time for this class, which is just nice. Okay, while waiting for questions, so the break is soon. Be safe, everyone. And, the WHO just announced today that COVID-19 is a pandemic. Be very careful, guys. Yeah, be very, very careful. If you feel like you're having a fever, then yeah, get checked, and don't be irresponsible. If you already feel like something is wrong, you know, quarantine yourself. And even if it's not a fever, let's say, for example, you broke a bone, or maybe, you're having a headache, don't force your body to, just rest. Because when you're in pain, it's hard to do stuff. I forced my leg to go to class, even though my leg is in extreme pain, and now I have to stay home and all that. So yeah, it's hard to drive sometimes like this, because I alternate between KL and Gambang very regularly. So it's taking a toll on my leg, because driving at Karak Highway is very, very hard, especially bila naik bukit to maintain the speed and all that. Okay, if na'uzubillah, it spreads to Gambang, and I know you've heard news about that. I'm not going to say whether it's true or not, because I don't know for sure. I'm not the authority, I'm not the dean. Let the dean handle announcements and everything. But if, let's say, it is there, yes, they will have to temporarily shut down if there is a confirmed case, or if they need to sanitize or anything, right? But the good news is, we don't have to worry about what you call this. We don't have to worry about what you call that, replacing classes, because we can do it online. So thank God for all this equipment. See, the gaming stuff actually helps. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Karak Highway is crazy. Then Bentong pun, ya Allah, dia punya corner tu, ya Allah. It's kind of crazy. The fact that I drive there like at least 4 times a week is kind of crazy. Okay, how to score A? That's the thing. This subject is it sprawls over a lot of stuff. You have the theory, you have the writing part, you have the research part. So first things first, make sure you understand the subject. If you have weak English, it doesn't mean you'll be bad at it. That's why when you guys did the review in class the other day, I was so happy because, yeah, maybe in terms of grammar, just some minor stuff, but you guys understand content. You guys understand what things are supposed to be. You guys have a good ability and understanding. I felt so proud, when we did that review writing session on the game the other day, because you guys can actually express yourself. Maybe you feel maybe a slight lack of confidence because people might have said you have bad grammar and stuff like that, or maybe you feel insecure about your English. Take it from me, all right? I'm a band lecturer. I specialize in language, all right? You guys can write. I am not worried about how you write. Maybe grammar ada salah sikit. Oh, come on. I mean, even the president of the United States doesn't have perfect grammar. In fact, if you listen to speeches by American politicians or British politicians, you will find grammatical errors all over. And sometimes you cannot even understand the point, and they're speaking in perfect English. All right, you guys are very, very clear and direct. I like how you guys write. All right, especially in class. Right? I was delighted when 900. Right, I think Fatin wrote very well. The back row is very capable. I was surprised because normally people have this stereotype that budak row belakang ni mesti tak fokus. But wow, the back row surprised me. Even the amount that you guys wrote, that was really, really crazy. The ones I can remember that were good. Let me see. I know Siraj took some time to write in class. I think the second row of guys were quite decent as well in terms of writing. So yeah, I have no problem with you guys. You guys, I trust you. All right, not claim. So yeah, I'm not too worried about you guys. I'm just worried about whether you understand the article, because you guys can write, but can you guys understand? Not claim that. But it was funny that some of you shared the thing together. But that's just nice. That's just nice, all right? So the other part where you can lose marks is this one here. Format. Make sure you get the format right. If you get the format wrong, you're going to lose 3 marks just like that. Do not lose marks. Last time it used to be 6 marks, but this time I'm going a bit soft on you guys. The gifts, the prizes. Remind me after the break. Remind me on Sunday after the break, yeah, so I can get it. But then again, with COVID-19 being a thing now, I'm not sure if they're going to. No, here's the thing. I'm very honest. If my students are good, and I'm proud to say that all my sections this semester, you guys have a lot of potential, and maybe adalah yang nakal sikit ataupun senyap sikit ataupun tak participative sikit. That's the part and parcel of being a student, because I understand you all come from different backgrounds, you all have different kind of families. Maybe you were treated badly by your teachers back in school. Maybe you had a bad childhood experience. I understand that, all right? Plus, my wife is she's from psychology, and she also explains this thing to me on a daily basis about, how background influences how you learn in class. She would really explain that very well, by the way. So, I grew up being very understanding of different backgrounds, which is why you don't normally see me being. I can be garang, I can be angry, but if I notice there's a problem or a challenge you guys are facing, I'm not going to be mean on you guys, all right? Because I know that, all of us have our life challenges. Maybe you have a disease, maybe you're dealing with anxiety or depression, Plus, I was a student, and that's why I'm a lecturer. Okay. Any other questions? So I will leave this video as well as the previous videos live on my channel. I know this is a bit of a shameless self-promotion here. So feel free to watch this video again if you need to rewind or refresh yourself. And make sure when you watch it, have the chat bar there as well, because you can actually replay the chat, okay? Which is very nice. So you can see the context of the discussion. And if I'm ever live on any other social media, you want to ask questions, feel free to ask me. And please, one thing that I noticed is missing from this semester, nobody is actively discussing on the WhatsApp group. Don't be embarrassed or don't feel shy to share on WhatsApp, all right? WhatsApp can be very powerful. Seriously. I don't currently encourage Telegram, because even though Telegram has some features which are very powerful, but I'm very worried about how Telegram is misused, all right? There are a lot of illegal stuff on Telegram, unfortunately, so I'm not too fond of Telegram these days. I think WhatsApp and streaming on YouTube or Twitch, that's very useful. And the reason why I'm not doing this on Twitch today, yeah, normally I stream on Twitch like this, twitch.tv, all right? I think the link is somewhere on my channel as well, is because YouTube has the ability to adapt the video to the speed of your phone. So if your phone has slow internet, YouTube can easily process it and make it, adaptable to your phone. Twitch can also do that, but you might face severe lag because Twitch, the emphasis in Twitch is on high quality videos. That's why gaming stuff is majority on Twitch, right? But maybe once in a while I might do a live class on Twitch as well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, any other final questions? Okay, if there are no questions, you can continue on WhatsApp. I might do a Twitch stream either, I'm not sure whether to do tonight or tomorrow night, or maybe the weekend. But if I do other streams which are not educational or for another section, just feel free to drop by and say hi and join the discussion. I really don't mind, all right? So this has been a great session, guys, and I enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great holiday. Any questions, let me know. And with that, let's end this with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.